The stars shone brightly against the black void of space. Earth's first deep space vessel, the Explorer, moved slowly toward the meeting point. On the bridge, Admiral Tae-ho Kim stood with his hands behind his back. His face showed no emotion, but inside, his heart raced. This meeting would change human history forever. "Sir, we're approaching the coordinates," said his navigator. A young woman named Sunmi Tae-ho nodded. "Any sign of them yet?" "No, sir. Our scanners show nothing, but they said they would." Sunmi stopped as a flash of light burst in front of their ship. Where empty space had been seconds before, a massive vessel now floated. It was at least 5 times larger than the Explorer. Its silver hull gleamed under the distant starlight. "They're here," Tae-ho said quietly. The Raxian ship dwarfed the human vessel. Its strange, curved shape reminded Tae-ho of ancient sea creatures from Earth's oceans. The ship had no visible weapons, but Tae-ho knew they were there, hidden beneath the smooth surface. "They're sending a message, sir," called out the communications officer, Jin-woo Park. Jin-woo was more than just a communications specialist. He was Earth's top diplomat, chosen specifically for this mission. His calm voice and thoughtful manner had resolved conflicts on Earth. Now he would try to forge peace with beings from another world. "Put it on screen," ordered Tae-ho. The main screen filled with the image of a Raxian. The alien had blue-gray skin and large dark eyes. Its mouth was small, and it had no visible nose, just 2 small slits. When it spoke, its words were translated by the computer. "Greetings, humans of Earth. I am Ambassador Krell of the Raxian Galactic Empire. We welcome you to the greater community of spacefaring races." Jin-woo stepped forward. "Thank you, Ambassador Krell. I am Dr. Jin-woo Park, representing Earth. We are honored to meet you and hope this will be the beginning of a peaceful friendship between our peoples." Krell's face showed what might have been a smile. "Indeed. We invite a small delegation to visit our ship for initial talks. We have much to discuss." 2 hours later, Tae-ho and Jin-woo, along with 3 other crew members, boarded the Raxian vessel. The inside was even more impressive than the outside. The halls were wide and tall, with smooth walls that seemed to glow from within. Krell met them and led them to a large room with a round table. "Please sit. We have prepared refreshments safe for human consumption." The meeting lasted 6 hours. The Raxians spoke of their empire, which spanned hundreds of worlds across the galaxy. They had ruled for over 10,000 years. They offered technology, trade agreements, and cultural exchanges. In return, they wanted to learn about human science, particularly Earth's unique approach to quantum physics. "Your understanding of quantum entanglement is interesting," said Krell. "Different from our own approach. We believe there could be valuable exchanges of knowledge." Jin-woo was careful in his responses. Earth's leaders had agreed to be open, but cautious. They would share some knowledge, but not all. Not until they knew more about these aliens. "We would be happy to begin a limited exchange of scientific information," Jin-woo said, "a foundation for building trust." Krell seemed pleased. "Excellent. We propose a 3-year period of exchange and learning. After that, if all goes well, we can discuss Earth joining the Galactic Empire as a protected world." Tae-ho noticed how Krell said, "protected world," not equal member. He kept his face neutral but made a mental note of it. 3 years passed. The relationship between Earth and the Raxian Empire grew. Raxian ships became common sights in Earth orbit. Humans learned about faster-than-light travel, while Raxians studied Earth's approach to quantum physics and artificial intelligence. Tae-ho had been promoted to oversee Earth's new space defense forces. He worked closely with the Raxians but never fully trusted them. Something about their easy smiles and vague answers to certain questions bothered him. One quiet evening, Tae-ho sat at home with his wife Sun-ah and their daughter Hana. Sun-ah was preparing dinner while Hana, just 7 years old, played with a toy model of a spaceship. "Look, Dad, I'm flying to meet the aliens," Hana said, making her toy ship zoom around the living room. Tae-ho smiled. "Be careful, some aliens might not be as friendly as they seem." Sun-ah shot him a look. "Don't scare her, Tae-ho. The Raxians have been nothing but helpful. I know, he said. I just want her to be careful, that's all. His phone buzzed. It was a message from Jin Woo. Something strange is happening. Multiple Raxian ships changing orbit, call me. Tae-ho felt a chill. He had ordered his team to monitor all Raxian movements, standard procedure. If they were changing orbit without... Notice, I have to go, he told Suna, kissing her quickly. Now? Dinner is almost ready, she protested. I'm sorry. It's important. He hugged Hana tightly. Be good for Mom, okay? As he drove to the Space Defense headquarters, the sky lit up with sudden flashes of light. Tae-ho stopped the car and got out. High above, Earth's orbital stations were exploding one after another. No, he whispered. No, no, no. His phone rang. It was Jin Woo. They're attacking. All orbital defenses are down. The call cut off. Tae-ho raced to headquarters, weaving through traffic that had stopped as people got out of their cars to look at the sky. When he arrived, the command center was in chaos. Report, he shouted as he entered. Sir, Raxian ships have destroyed all orbital stations, said his second-in-command, Ji-hoon. They're launching smaller ships toward major cities. We've lost contact with New York and London. Beijing is under attack now. What about our ships, the new defense fleet? Caught in dock, sir. The first strike took them out before they could launch. A screen lit up. It showed a Raxian face, but not Krell's. This Raxian wore what looked like military armor. People of Earth, the Raxian said. I am Commander Drell of the Raxian Empire. Your world is now under our direct control. Resistance is futile and will be met with severe punishment. Your leaders misled you. You were never going to be our equals. Like all lesser species, you will serve the Empire. Those who submit willingly will be treated fairly. Those who resist will be eliminated. The message repeated in multiple languages. Tae-ho turned to Ji-hoon. Get me a secure line to Luna Base. Sir, what's at Luna Base? Our insurance policy, Tae-ho said grimly. For 3 years, while openly working with the Raxians, Earth had been preparing in secret. Deep beneath the lunar surface, hidden from Raxian scanners, was humanity's real fleet. Larger, more advanced, ships built using what they'd learned from the Raxians but improved upon. Before Tae-ho could make the call, alarms blared. The headquarters was under attack. Everyone out. Now, he ordered. They barely made it to the emergency bunker beneath the building when the upper floors were hit. The lights went out, then emergency power kicked in. Tae-ho tried his personal communicator, attempting to reach his family. There was no answer from home. Instead, he received a video message. It showed Suna and Hana being led onto a Raxian ship, along with dozens of other frightened humans. He tried the secure line to Luna Base again. This time, a voice answered. General Ji-hoon Kang here. General, this is Admiral Kim. Authorization code Delta 735. Initiate Project Thunderstorm. Earth is under attack. There was a pause. Understood, Admiral. Project Thunderstorm initiating. How bad is it down there? Tae-ho looked at the frightened faces around him in the bunker. Through the small window, he could see Seoul burning. They think they've won, General. They think this was easy. Then they're in for a surprise, sir. Luna Base out. Tae-ho closed his eyes. The Raxians thought they knew everything about humanity. They thought humans had shared all their technology, all their capabilities. They were wrong, and they were about to find out how wrong. The lunar surface was a gray, dusty plain, but beneath it something amazing was happening. In a vast underground cavern, 50 warships stood ready. Each one was twice the size of the largest Raxian vessel. Their black hulls absorbed light, making them nearly invisible against the darkness of space. This was Project Thunderstorm, humanity's secret weapon. General Ji-hoon Kang walked along a metal bridge that overlooked the main hangar. Workers moved quickly below him, loading the final supplies. The ships hummed with power. They were ready. Status report, Ji-hoon said to his assistant. All ships are at 100%, sir. Crews are aboard and waiting for the launch order. Ji-hoon nodded. For 3 years they had worked in secret. While Earth's leaders met with the Raxians in public, showing them only what they wanted them to see, the real work happened here. Earth had shared some technology with the Raxians but kept much more hidden, and they had studied every piece of Raxian technology they could get, finding weaknesses, making improvements. "Sir," said a young officer, running up to Ji-hoon, "we're getting reports from Earth. All major cities are under attack. The Raxians have troops on the ground now." Ji-hoon's face grew hard. "Then it's time. Send the signal to all ship captains. We launch in 30 minutes. On the flagship named Vengeance, Captain Do-hyun Lee prepared his crew. Do-hyun was tall and thin, with serious eyes that had seen too much pain. 2 weeks ago, his brother had died in the initial attack on New York. Now he had a chance to strike back. "Listen up," he said to his crew on the bridge. "The Raxians think they've won. They believe Earth is defeated. They don't know about us." He looked at each face, seeing determination in their eyes. "Today, we show them how wrong they are. Today, we fight back." The crew cheered. They had trained for this moment. They knew the plan. As the ships prepared to launch, Do-hyun received a message from Earth. It was from Mireille Choi, leader of the human resistance on the ground. Her face appeared, on his screen, tired and dirty. Behind her, others worked at computers in what looked like an underground room. "Captain Lee," she said, "we have important information for you. My team has been studying captured Raxian equipment. We found something important about their shields." Mireille had been a quantum physicist before the invasion. Now she led a network of scientists and fighters who gathered intelligence on the enemy. "What did you find?" Do-hyun asked. "Their shields can't stop our new plasma weapons. Something about the energy signature. It passes right through their defenses. We tested it on a small Raxian craft we captured." Do-hyun smiled for the first time in weeks. "That's excellent news, Dr. Choi. Can you send the exact specifications?" "Already. Done. And there's more. One of our people, Johan Bayek, has infiltrated their systems. He's sending you their patrol patterns, communication frequencies, and shield modulations." Johan appeared next to Mireille. He was young, maybe 25, with quick eyes and nervous hands. "I got into their main computer in Beijing," he said. "They aren't very careful with their security. They don't think we're smart enough to hack them." "Another mistake they'll regret," Do-hyun said. "Thank you both. Stay safe down there. We'll be moving soon." After the call ended, Do-hyun shared the new information with his weapons team. "Update all plasma torpedoes with this frequency. I want every shot to count." 30 minutes later, the massive doors at the top of the lunar base slid open. One by one, the ships of Project Thunderstorm rose from their hiding place. They moved to the dark side of the moon, where they wouldn't be seen from Earth. In the command center of the lunar base, Admiral Tae-ho Kim had finally arrived after escaping. Earth, he looked terrible. His uniform was torn and dirty, and a cut on his forehead had dried blood around it. But his eyes were clear and focused as he took command. "Report," he said to Ji-hoon. "All ships are in position, Admiral. They're waiting for your order." Tae-ho looked at the large screen showing Earth. Around the planet, Raxian ships moved in easy patterns. They weren't expecting any danger. They thought they had won. "The Raxians have my family," Tae-ho said quietly. "And they have thousands of other innocent people. We need to be careful. Our first targets are military only, understand?" "Yes, sir," Ji-hoon said. "All captains have their orders. Primary targets are the Raxian command ships and heavy cruisers. No attacks on ships carrying prisoners." Tae-ho nodded. "Then it's time. Give the order." Ji-hoon pressed a button on his console. "All ships, this is General Kang. Operation Thunderstorm is now active. Repeat, Thunderstorm is active." On the Vengeance, Do-hyun received the order. "Helm, take us in. Weapons, prepare first salvo. Target." The Raxian command station. The human fleet moved out from behind the moon. Their stealth systems were active, making them nearly invisible to Raxian scanners. They approached Earth silently, like shadows against the stars. The Raxian command station orbited Earth like a giant metal spider. It was the center of their invasion operations. High Commander Grek stood on its bridge, watching the conquest of Earth with satisfaction. "The human leaders have all surrendered," reported an officer. "Our troops control all major cities. Resistance is scattered and disorganized." "Excellent," said Grek. "Begin loading the first group of workers for transport to the mining colonies. The Emperor will be pleased with this world's resources." "Sir," called another officer, suddenly alarmed. "Something strange on our long-range scanners. I'm not sure what I'm seeing." "Explain yourself," Grek demanded. "Multiple objects approaching, but they keep disappearing from our screens. It could be—" The officer never finished his sentence. The first plasma torpedoes from the Vengeance hit the command station. They passed through the Raxian shields as if they weren't there. The bridge rocked violently. Alarms screamed. Grek was thrown to the floor. "We're under attack," shouted the officer. "Shields are failing." "Impossible!" Grek got to his feet. "There are no human ships left." The main screen showed what was happening outside. At least 50 large warships had appeared, surrounding the command station. They were firing again. "Return." "Fire!" ordered Grek. "Launch all fighters." But it was too late. The second wave of plasma torpedoes tore through the weakened hull of the command station. The last thing Grek saw was a blinding white light as the bridge exploded around him on. The Vengeance, Do-hyun watched the Raxian command station break apart. "Direct hit," reported his weapons officer, Sunmi. "Target destroyed." "Good," said Do-hyun. "Now for the rest of them. Split into attack groups as planned. It's time to take back our planet." The human fleet divided into 3 groups. They moved through the Raxian forces like wolves among sheep. The surprise was complete. The Raxians had no idea what was happening until it was too late. In the Lunar Command Center, Taeho directed the battle. Group Alpha, target their communication relays. Group Beta, focus on their supply ships. Group Gamma, engage their destroyers. The space around Earth lit up with explosions as ship after ship of the Raxian fleet was destroyed. The humans were outgunned and outnumbered, but they had surprise on their side. And they had something else, a burning desire to protect their home, to save their families. For every human ship damaged, 5 Raxian ships were destroyed. The Empire's forces found themselves outmaneuvered and outgunned by a species they had dismissed as primitive. The counterattack had begun. The battle for Earth's orbit lasted 12 hours. By the end, the space around the planet was filled with the broken remains of Raxian ships. The human fleet had lost only 3 vessels, while the Raxians had lost over 60. On the bridge of the Vengeance, Captain Do-hyun Lee watched his crew work. They were tired but determined. No one had slept since the battle began. "Status report," he said to his second-in-command. "Sir, we've destroyed all major Raxian warships in orbit. Some of their smaller craft escaped through the jump gates. Our fighters are cleaning up the rest." Do-hyun nodded. "And our losses?" 3 ships destroyed. 6 damaged but still fighting. Better than we expected. It was true, the Raxians had superior numbers, but the humans had surprise and better tactics, and they had the special plasma weapons that cut through Raxian shields like they weren't there. Do-hyun's communication officer called out, "Captain, Admiral Kim is calling from Luna Base." Taeho's face appeared on the main screen. He looked, tired but satisfied. "Well done, Captain. The orbital battle is nearly won. Now we need to help our people on the ground." "Yes, sir. What are our orders?" "The Resistance has identified key Raxian ground bases. I'm sending you the coordinates. Now, your ship will lead the attack on their main base in Seoul. Be careful. They have human prisoners there." Do-hyun thought of Taeho's family, captured in the first attack. "We'll be precise, sir. No harm will come to the prisoners." "Thank you, Captain." Luna Base out. The Vengeance moved into position above Seoul. From orbit, Do-hyun could see that parts of the city were damaged from the invasion, but most buildings still stood. The Raxians wanted Earth's infrastructure intact for their own use. "Scan the target area," Do-hyun ordered. "I want to know exactly where those prisoners are being held." His crew worked quickly, using the ship's advanced sensors to create a detailed map of the Raxian base. It had been built in what was once Seoul's Central Park. The main building held the alien commander and his staff. To the east, 3 smaller buildings held human prisoners. "I have a plan," Do-hyun said. "We'll use precision strikes to hit their command center and defense systems. Then our ground forces can move in to free the prisoners." On Earth, Mi-rae Choi and her resistance fighters watched the sky. They had seen the flashes of light as the space battle raged. Now they waited in hiding near the Raxian base. "Look," said one of her fighters, pointing up. The Vengeance was visible now, a dark shape against the clouds. Mi-rae smiled. "That's our cue. Get ready." Her team of 50 fighters checked their weapons. They carried a mix of human guns and captured Raxian energy weapons. Each person wore a simple armband with Earth's flag, the only uniform they had. Mi-rae's radio crackled. It was Do-hyun from the Vengeance. "Dr. Choi, we're in position. Are your people ready?" "Ready and waiting, Captain," she replied. "We're in position to move on the prison buildings as soon as you take out their defenses." "Good. We strike in 5 minutes. Stay safe down there." Mi-rae turned to her team. 5 minutes, remember the plan. Team 1 with me to the first prison building, Team 2 with Johan to the second, Team 3 to the third. Quick and quiet until the shooting starts. Johan Beck checked his computer one last time. "I've hacked into their communication system. When the attack begins, I'll send fake orders to confuse their troops." Exactly 5 minutes later, the Vengeance fired. Bright beams of energy shot down from the ship, hitting the Raxian command center with perfect accuracy. The building's shields flickered and died. A second shot destroyed the defense towers around the base. "Now!" Mi-rae shouted, and her resistance fighters moved. Inside the Raxian base, all was chaos. Their commander, Sub-Leader Traz, shouted orders that no one followed. Half his officers were dead from the orbital strike. The rest ran around in panic. "Get our fighters in the air," Traz ordered. "Return fire." But their ships were destroyed in their launch bays before they could take off. And their ground troops were receiving confusing orders, thanks to Johan's hacking. Some moved to defend the command center. Others ran to the landing pads. None went to protect the prison buildings. Mi-rae led her team to the first prison. The few guards there were quickly overcome. Inside, they found hundreds of humans in small cells. "We're with the resistance," Mi-rae told them as she opened the cells. "We're here to free you. Stay calm and follow us." In the second prison building, Johan found more prisoners, including children who had been separated from their parents. "It's okay now," he told a crying little girl. "We're taking you home." The third team reported similar success. Altogether, they freed over 1,000 people from the Seoul base. Among them were Suna and Hana Kim, Admiral Taeho's wife and daughter. Mi-rae found them in the last cell of the first building. "Mrs. Kim?" she asked the tired woman holding a young girl close. Suna looked up, her eyes full of fear that slowly changed to hope. "Yes? Who are you?" "I'm Mi-rae Choi. Your husband sent us to find you." Tears filled Suna's eyes. "Taeho is alive? We thought—" "They told us he was dead. Very much alive, and leading our counterattack from Luna Base." Mi-rae helped them up. "Come on, we need to get you both to safety." As they left the prison, the little girl Hana looked up at the sky where the Vengeance still hovered. "Is that Daddy's ship?" she asked. "No, but he sent it to help us," Mi-rae explained. "Your daddy has a lot of ships now." Above them, Do-hyun watched the rescue operation through the ship's cameras. "The prisoners are clear," he told his weapons officer. "Now finish the base. No survivors." The Vengeance fired again, completely destroying what remained of the Raxian command center. Similar attacks were happening all over Earth as the human fleet targeted Raxian bases worldwide. In his flagship, far from Earth, Emperor Krell of the Raxian Empire received the news. His advisor stood nervously before him, afraid to speak. "Tell me," Krell demanded. "What is happening on Earth? Your Majesty, we have lost contact with our invasion force. Our orbital command station has been destroyed. Most of our ships in the Earth system are not responding." How is this possible? Krell's voice was deadly quiet. They are primitives. They had no fleet, no defenses. It seems they had hidden ships, Your Majesty. Advanced ships. They appear to have studied our technology and improved upon it. They can penetrate our shields. Krell stood from his throne, towering over his advisor. Are you telling me that these humans deceived us? That they showed us only what they wanted us to see? It appears so, Your Majesty. Krell's face darkened with rage. Send the Imperial fleet. All of it. I want that planet reduced to ash, but, Your Majesty, the resource value. I don't care about resources anymore. No species defies the Raxian Empire and lives. Send the fleet. As his advisor hurried away, Krell stared at the image of Earth on his screen. How had this happened? How had these simple, primitive humans managed to defeat his forces? What he didn't know was that the worst was yet to come. The humans weren't just defending their planet anymore, they were taking the fight to him. 3 days after the battle for Earth began, Admiral Tae-Ho Kim stood in the Luna Base Command Center. The large screen showed a map of Earth. Green dots marked human-controlled areas. There were no more red dots showing Raxian forces. It's done, said General Ji-hoon, standing beside him. The last Raxian ground troops surrendered an hour ago. Earth is free. Tae-Ho nodded, his face serious. For now. But Emperor Krell won't accept this defeat. He'll send his main fleet. Let him come, Ji-hoon said with confidence. We beat them. Once. We'll do it again. No. Tae-Ho shook his head. We won because we had surprise on our side. Next time they'll be ready. And they have more ships than we do. Many more. So what do? Tae-Ho looked at his old friend. We don't wait for them to come to us. We take the fight to them. An hour later, Tae-Ho met with Earth's remaining leaders and military commanders. They gathered in the large meeting room at Luna Base. Some attended in person, others joined by secure video link from Earth. Sune and Hana sat in the back of the room. They had been brought to Luna Base after their rescue. Hana waved at her father, and Tae-Ho smiled briefly at his daughter before focusing on the meeting. The Yao Raxians will return, Tae-Ho began, with a larger force. We must prepare. One of the leaders spoke up. Can we build more ships? Improve our defenses? There's no time, Tae-Ho replied. Our intelligence suggests the Raxian Imperial fleet is already on its way. They'll be here in less than 2 weeks. Then what's your plan, Admiral? Another asked. Tae-Ho touched a control, and the screen showed a star map. We don't wait for them to attack Earth again. We strike first, here. He pointed to a star system, the Raxian throne world. Silence filled the room. Then everyone started talking at once. That's crazy. We can't attack their home planet. It's suicide. Tae-Ho raised his hand for silence. I understand your concerns, but let me explain why. This is our best option. He outlined his plan. A task force of 30 ships led by the Vengeance would jump to the Raxian home system. They would strike hard and fast, targeting military installations only. Their goal wasn't to destroy the planet, but to force the Emperor to surrender. The Raxians have ruled through fear for thousands of years, Tae-Ho explained. No one has ever successfully challenged them. If we can show the galaxy that they can be defeated, their empire will crumble. And if we fail? Someone asked. Tae-Ho's face was grim. Then Earth falls, but we will fall fighting, not waiting to be slaughtered. In the end, they agreed to the plan. 30 ships would make the jump to Raxian space. The rest would stay to defend Earth just in case. Captain Do-hyun Lee stood on the bridge of the Vengeance. His ship would lead the attack force. The crew worked around him, preparing for their most dangerous mission yet. Jump drives charged and ready, reported his navigator. Weapons at full capacity, added Sunmi, his weapons officer. Do-hyun nodded. Open a channel to all ships in the task force. When the connection was made, he spoke clearly and calmly. This is Captain Lee. In 5 minutes, we will jump to the Raxian home system. Our mission is simple but dangerous. We will strike at the heart of their empire. We will show them that humanity cannot be conquered, that we will fight back, that we will win." He paused, looking at the determined faces of his crew. 3 days ago, the Raxians thought they had defeated us. They were wrong then, and they're wrong now if they think we'll just wait for them to attack us again. Today, we take the fight to them. 5 minutes later, the human fleet jumped. The strange, swirling lights of jump space surrounded them for a few seconds. Then they emerged in a new system, orbiting a blue-green planet. This was Raxia, the heart of the Empire. The surprise was complete. The Raxian home fleet wasn't prepared for an attack. They had never been attacked in their history. By the time their sensors detected the human ships, it was too late. "All ships begin attack pattern Alpha," Do-hyun ordered. "Remember, military targets only. No civilian areas." The human fleet split into smaller groups. They moved quickly, striking at orbital defense platforms, military bases, and shipyards. The Raxians tried to respond, but they were too slow, too confused. On the planet below, Emperor Krell watched in disbelief as his orbital defenses exploded one after another. "How dare they?" he growled. "How dare these primitives attack the Imperial throne world?" His military commander, looking pale, reported, "Your Majesty, they've disabled our main defense grid. They're targeting military installations with precision strikes. Our fleet is trying to organize, but..." Another explosion lit up the sky above the palace. The palace shields flickered. "Get my ship ready," Krell ordered. "I will not die here." But it was too late. A message came through on all channels. Do-hyun's face appeared on screens across the planet. "This is Captain Do-hyun Lee of the Earth Fleet Vengeance. Emperor Krell, your forces have been defeated at Earth, and now here at your home world. Surrender now, and release all human prisoners, or we will continue our attack until your military capability is completely destroyed." Krell roared in anger. "Never. I will never surrender to..." His words were cut off as the Vengeance fired a precise shot that destroyed the palace's military wing, leaving the rest intact. The blast threw Krell to the floor. "Your Majesty," his advisor said urgently, "we must surrender. They could destroy the entire palace, the entire city, but they're only targeting military sites. They're showing restraint." Krell looked out the window. His beautiful capital city was largely untouched. Only the military buildings were burning. These humans could have leveled everything if they wanted to. But they didn't. For the first time in his long life, Emperor Krell knew fear. "Open a channel," he said quietly. Minutes later, Krell's image appeared on the screen of the Vengeance. "I agree to discuss terms," he said stiffly. "The attack on Earth was a misunderstanding." Do-hyun's face showed no emotion. "Not a misunderstanding, Emperor. It was an invasion. It was wrong. And now you will pay for it." The terms were harsh, but fair. The Raxian Empire would withdraw from all human territories. They would pay for the damage they had caused. They would acknowledge humanity's independence and right to self-determination. And they would never again threaten Earth. As a final condition, Admiral Tae-ho Kim himself arrived to oversee the signing of the peace treaty. He stood tall before Emperor Krell in the grand hall of the Imperial Palace. "Why?" Tae-ho asked simply. "Why did you attack us when we offered friendship?" Krell looked confused by the question. "It is what we have always done. For 10,000 years we have conquered those weaker than us. It is how the Empire grows." "Then understand this," Tae-ho said firmly. "Humanity does not seek conquest. We do not want an empire. But we will defend ourselves. Remember that before you ever threaten us again." As news of the human victory spread throughout the galaxy, other species took notice. Many had suffered under Raxian rule for centuries. Now they saw hope for the first time. In the Imperial archives, a new entry was made. "Humans, approach. With extreme caution. Do not provoke." On the journey back to Earth, Do-hyun stood on the bridge of the Vengeance. His mission was complete. Earth was safe. The Raxians would not threaten them again. "Set course for home," he told his navigator. "It's time to rebuild." Behind them, the stars seemed brighter somehow. The galaxy had changed forever. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage not as victims, not as just another conquered species, but as a force to be respected and feared.